I honestly started using drugs when I was probably 16. It just started off with the smoking weed and, drinking with my friends. And that happened up until I got pregnant at 17. And then I didn't do anything, you know. She got older, and I guess I thought I'd prove myself, so I thought I could do it again. And only this time it was so much worse. And then I got into pills, and then, I reached heroin, and after that, that was it. My first time I went to rehab, it was a 12-step program down here in Florida. And I really just did it to save myself because I got to where I wasn't paying my bills. And, I wasn't getting in trouble, with the law or anything. But you could tell it was getting that way. So when I got home, I probably stayed sober for 2 months. And then it just started all over again, like it would never stopped. And then a few weeks later, I had gotten into some trouble, and they told me I had to do something. So, being in addiction and not wanting to quit, I said I'll just go to a detox because that's 7 days, and who can't do 7 days, I stayed 5 and left. As soon as I left, I had a needle in my arm. I wasn't learning nothing. All those places, the detoxes, all it is keeping you away from the drug. It's not teaching you the main source of why you want to use that drug. I had an option of doing a rehab or jail time. I called my mom and I said, I want to go to a rehab. I want help. And she stayed up for hours and hours. I mean, I'd call and she'd be like, I couldn't sleep last night. I was on the computer. I think I found this really awesome place. So I packed up and stayed with her for the night, and she drove me to Lexington, and I was here the next day. They were playing cornhole and playing music. I mean, it was so at home. It's not, you have to do this. And I mean, it's a very structured place, but it was just the most easing feeling that you can have whenever you first get somewhere where you know nobody. I got released to start class, or neuro is the first step. Neurofeedback is awesome. I was kind of skeptical about it at first, not really knowing too much about it. It was so helpful because knowing that that's how active my brain was being, I learned to calm it. Because when you start calming your mind, that picture starts slowing down. And once you figure that out, it's like you see it and you're like, all right, I'm thinking too much. And then you just calm yourself back down. And that's an awesome feeling when you know you don't have control over what you think. But you can control how much you think it, That was probably one of the first ahas. I can't really say what was my very first insight here. That was an important aha that I had, definitely. It was between that and a counselor suggested that I do a silent retreat. We did a 48-hour silent retreat. And by the end of my 24, I was like, there it is. And it's the same thing with drugs. I'm going to get a thought. It's like, hey, you can do this. But as long as I give myself that space and that time, like, no, you don't have to do anything. It's awesome. The biggest thing I've got here would be that it's me. Nobody else can control how I feel. No one else has the power to do that. I mean, once you learn that you're in control, it's like no one else can take that from you. I know in 12-step you have to say I'm powerless and I give it up and, to my higher power. You don't have to do that here. Once you realize that you really are powerless when you're using, but you can gain that power back here. I had to use drugs to feel like I could be the best me I could be. All those things that I thought whenever I was using, I still have them sober, but now I'm better at it, I'm healthy. And that's one of the greatest gifts that you can get is accepting and realizing that all those things that you thought you were when you were on drugs and your head was in a fog, and it clears up and you realize I'm still that awesome Brook that I knew I could be. Once I realized I was changing, it was like the weight of the world just came off of my shoulders, and I was like, I can be free and I can be me and I can love it. There's not one thing that I can say about my last rehab that would make me want to stay. I couldn't wait to go home. I was counting down the days. I called every week asking if I could come home yet. And I've actually asked for more time here, because once you start to get it and understand it, I don't want to give up on it. I've never been like, ooh, I want to read more about that. Or I've never been so interested in something. But learning about myself is the best interest I've ever had. This place, it's beautiful, and this place changed my life. It saved my life.